Someone was at the door. Steel Magnolias. Probably one of my favorite movies. I've probably watched it 1,000 times. And I can say all the lines in the movies. What I love about this movie is this menagerie of characters. From Weezer the cantankerous, she says she's pleasant but has been in a bad mood for 40 years, to Malin, who's just the mother of all, and whose daughter, she's the one who was crying, and whose daughter passed away in the movie, to Clary, who is flamboyant and has plenty of money, and she's always in the room with a flourish. So there's just this whole cast of characters there, often like the cast of characters that ends up in our lives. Whether it's family, friends, colleagues, we have this menagerie of folks who end up as part of this tapestry of our lives that give it texture and color and shape and form. I think in this season of giving, when so many of us are focused on what do I buy for my family, what do I give to my friends, and we're out shopping and spending money, and we're online and we're in the stores, and there's Black Friday, and now there's a Green Monday, and there's all kinds of, there's a 14-hour sale in a store I passed the other day. So there's all this impetus, this hype about buying, 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 to give people something, to give them another gift, to buy them something else. And I think as I get older, what I appreciate is that the greatest gifts in my life are the people in my life, the connections that I have. Even those that may not feel sometimes to be the greatest gift. Those who push our buttons, those who make us uncomfortable. And then we have those who just make everything all right. The people you can call, and as soon as you hear their voice, everything just feels better. My sister was that for me. I could have a problem, call her, and just when she said, "Hi, how are you?" I wouldn't need to talk about the problem anymore. Because just hearing her voice, just talking with her, just having that connection on the phone was good. It just made the world feel right. What I love in this movie is I probably laugh the hardest and cry the hardest in however long that movie lasts. Because there is a lot of sadness. But then there are also some really terrifically funny moments. And I think that's what the people in our lives end up giving us. There are those that we can cry with, that we can share these moments, that we can share our sadness, our grief with. The people who will stand with us when we're just falling apart because we can't understand why something has happened. And then there are the people in our lives who we can celebrate with. Sometimes they're the same people, sometimes they're not. The people who will celebrate with us, who will share our joy, who are our greatest fans, who champion us as we strive and grow and do things we've never done before. The people who lift us up when we can't lift up ourselves. Those, I think, are the gifts, the true gifts. I find more and more that what's important for me is the time I spend with the people I love. Just sitting, just doing whatever. Maybe nothing special. Sometimes we don't have to go anywhere. Just sitting in the same room. Maybe cooking together. fixing a meal, running errands. And then the mundane in our lives becomes special. The ordinary becomes extraordinary. And I notice more often that when I am going through my day, that I have these moments of feeling that extraordinary feeling, that specialness, that sacredness that just washes all over me. And I think how rich my life is. That's not anything I could ever buy in a store. It's priceless. Worth more than anything I have or could possibly have. You know that we are made of energy, and our energy is not just within us, but extends outward for several feet. And so we connect as we come into each other's space. Whether we're close or not, whether we come in for a hug or not, our energy affects the people that come into our space. And I believe those connections mean that we have a craving for each other. We have a craving for that connection, and that there's something that we can't put our fingers on that makes us want each other, that makes us seek each other out, that makes us seek deep, intimate connection. You know, the people that you can share things with that you wouldn't share with anybody else. People that will hold your confidences. The people that hold your heart. The people who can look you in the eye and say, yeah, I get it. And could also say, I don't know that I get that, but I'm here with you as you feel what you're feeling. Those people are invaluable. They're huge gifts to us. Because if you can trust your heart with someone, then they are worth more than gold. Our lives are filled with relationships that also bring us lessons, sometimes hard, sometimes deep, sometimes painful. Sometimes things that we struggle to forgive. And yet if we can open our hearts wide enough, if we can open our minds wide enough, there is a blessing even in those connections. Some of my most difficult relationships, intimate relationships, taught me how to love in a mature, healthy, life-affirming love. Some of the times I was the most brokenhearted. Even if I didn't know what I did want, I knew what I did not want. Which is also valuable. Because it taught me when the red flags go up to watch them, pay attention to them, and do something different. And that was a huge gift for me. I had one or two relationships, love relationships, that just put me through the mill. And maybe each of you has had one too, because sometimes they make you think, I don't think I ever want to get in a relationship again. And make you want to run in the other direction. And yet if we open up, both heart and mind, and we find some gold, some silver lining around that experience, it gives us a gift that we can't get anywhere else. gives us this lesson that we can hold on for the rest of our days. And yes, I can look at each of those people in my mind's eye and say, thank you now. Thank you for the lesson. And I even have a measure of love for some of them now, an appreciation for what we had. Gifts come from everywhere. If we're willing to see them, if we're willing to open up wide enough, to look beyond our anger, to look beyond our broken hearts, to look beyond the pain, the emotional pain, sometimes the physical pain. Because you know, sometimes our hearts hurt so badly, our bodies hurt too. It takes being willing to open ourselves, to stay open in the midst of pain, after the pain, to find the gift. So it's always a question. There's our choice. And then we can weave all of those lessons into those wonderful, wonderful loves that we have, whether they're friendships or our partners, our spouses. And they all become a part of this great goodness that we get to have and hold in our lives. We don't have to run from the things we don't want. We get to choose them as gifts in our lives, to choose the lessons, to choose the silver lining. I believe the silver lining's always there. Sometimes we have to rub at the tarnish to get to the silver, to see the shine. A friend of mine, Stephen Dunn, is a prolific poet. And if some of you were here for Eddie's birthday party, he's the one who wrote the poem for Eddie. So this poem he wrote is called The Gift of You. A lifetime of Christmas presents, both large and small. Sometimes they are quite petite, while other times they're tall. A multitude of friends coloring our days and years. They are the precious treasures that we long to be near. One cannot evaluate the worth that each one brings. They are the very music that makes our hearts sing. Maybe for only a moment, or a decade or two, some of great importance and some you barely knew. They are the very fiber that has created your tapestry of life, not necessarily completely perfect, nor always particularly nice. But consider how your life would look had they not come along. Perhaps you would never have been aware of those things that you did wrong. No matter the packaging, no matter what was on your mind, they are the rarest gift you will ever hope to find. So during this season of giving, why not send them some holiday love? Let them know that their friendship was like manna from up above. Let them know the particular difference they made in who you are. Thank them for the many times that they raised that faithful bar. Happy, happy Christmas, my lifelong list of friends. For it is my Yuletide wish that you will be there to the very end.
Yes.
our lives can be so full if we'll keep our hearts open. Just keep them open, even in the toughest of times. If we'll share our hearts and be vulnerable. You know, the root of the word vulnerable is vulnerus, which means to cut. So whenever we're open, the possibility of getting cut, of getting hurt, is always there. Always there. We fall in love and the relationship ends. We have a pet and they die. Loved ones come to their life's end and leave this earthly plane. And all of it cuts. Cuts deeply. And yet I know, and I know you know too, because some of you are some of the most loving people I know. We all know the gift of the heart. That the true gift of life is who we are to each other. How we extend ourselves to another, even if just for a moment of time, like the poem said. Sometimes all we get is a flash in time with someone. A smile, a nod of the head when you're in the grocery store. Going through the drive-through window at the bank, or your favorite fast food place. Going through security at the airport. All of it, a chance to be and give a gift. To be and give a gift. A friend of mine had a long talk with the other day because looks like there's a friendship that she's had for many years is coming to an end. It's just gotten to be where it's untenable. Some things were said, and it was very painful for her. And what she kept saying to me was that perhaps I just need to keep being there, no matter how I'm treated. No matter how bad it gets. She's been trying 2 years to make this friendship work. And it's not working. And what I said to her, and which finally got the emotion to run, is when I said to her, Kathy, you are also a gift. You deserve better. It's okay to say, this must stop. And I'm no longer willing to let you do what you're doing to me. Yes, the Christian thing to do is to forgive and to love. But we must also love ourselves. Know that we are also a gift. And she kept saying, I don't know that I deserve that. I don't know that I deserve that. Because she thought she hadn't done enough. So as you treasure the gifts of the connections in your lives, know that you also are the gift. You also are the treasure. You also are valued and good and loving and deserving of love. And as you try and open your heart and love others, open your heart to love yourself even more. Even more. and give a gift this holiday season and always. Let's take this in a meditation. Let's take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just let yourself feel what you feel. You are in sacred, safe space. Let's just breathe into love. Breathe into love. Just breathe. And as you're breathing into love, let's call to mind and to our hearts all those we love, whether they are still here on this earthly plane or not. The ones we missed during this holiday season. Just call them in. Hold them in your heart. Hold them in your heart. Hold them in your heart. See their faces. Perhaps they are relationships that have ended, friendships that are broken. Hold them in your heart. And just breathe with it. Breathe with it. Allow yourself to be in it. Heart open, mind open. Feel the warmth of those relationships. And just relax in it. Knowing that love is good. That love is eternal. Whether we are still on the earthly plane or not. Love never dies. Hold them close. Breathe. Breathe. Just let your heart feel. Knowing that those you hold in your heart stay there forever. Always a part of you. Love is God, and God is love. And we are also love. Just breathe into those connections, those relationships. Just breathe. Relax. Breathe and relax. It is all good. Each of our lives wrapped in a silver lining. Let's take a deep breath together. Breathe it in. Exhale. Breathe in again. One heart, one life, one love, one breath. Exhale. When you're ready, return to the room.